Good morning. My name is Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK. Welcome to another episode of Groovi Tuesday. That was a little bit different, wasn't it? I wasn't sure whether it was going to jump over or not. I was just getting ready with the mouse. Hope everybody's well. Welcome, as I say, to another episode of Groovi Tuesday. I can see we have some lovely friends in the room already. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Pull up a chair, grab yourself a cup of tea or a coffee. Lovely Sue is in the room with you this morning, so if you have any questions, she's there to help, and no doubt the lovely design team will also be jumping in as well. So hopefully that was my all clear from Sue. Thank you, Sue. So yeah, we're good to go. There we go. Lots of friendly, I was going to say faces, lovely names in the room as well. So there we go. Everybody's, that's it. Pull up a chair. Let's get nice and comfy. We're going to chill out for the next hour, and we've got lots to tell you. Things are sort of slowly developing here at Clarity Towers. On Sunday, we had a fantastic 2 hour, well, it's 2.5 hour live show from 3 till 5:30. And if you missed that, you can watch that over on our YouTube channel. Then yesterday we were back in the shack with Barb, and we started on the letter L, love. It was funny because when Barb was asking many of you at home, what do you think we're going to do for the letter L? And then she started talking about Lake Tahoe and the Lake District, and then sort of went round the houses a little bit and was talking about lemons and lemonade. But a few of you did guess that it was going to be L for love. So that was lovely to be back in the shack again yesterday. Today, Groovi Tuesday. On Thursday, who subscribes to our e-shots that we send out to you? I'm sure many of you in the room already do. If you don't, then Sue could pop up a link. Sign up to our e-shots, and you'll be kept informed of all things happening at Clarity Towers, because on Thursday we are going live at 10 and 2 with a very special guest. We are indeed. We're going to be joined by the lovely Tina Cox, and she's going to be, we're going to have, on Thursday, we're going to have a parchlet party. So to celebrate Tina being back in the building, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Normally, do you remember sort of back in the day, sometimes Tina would call me halfway through a Groovi Tuesday, or she sent me a message just beforehand saying, can I call you? And she I said, I'm just about to do Groovi Tuesday, and she went, oops. So lovely Tina, no change there, is there? So yeah. Oh, here we all come. Good morning. I've been waffling. I haven't caught many of the messages. And there we go. Pat's excited about Thursday. There we go. Everyone's sort of signing up to that newsletter. It's definitely worth signing up to, because with the way things are happening at the moment, we're sort of adapting day by day. So what have we got on Thursday? As I say, 10 and 2 with the lovely Tina Cox live from Clarity TV here at Clarity Towers. Then on Thursday evening at 7 p.m, there's a fantastic craft along with Barb. So that's what's in the pipeline at the moment. And seeing how today develops, then we could have something else lined up. So what I need to say is watch this space. Make sure you subscribe to Barb's blog, which is barbaragrayblog.com. If you put your email address in there, then every time there's a new post, you'll be notified. We also have the Clarity Matters blog. So again, this is where we do a preview of what's coming up on the various different TV shows. And also there's a Saturday share that lovely Gracie does for us on Saturday. And then on Sunday, there's a step-by-step tutorial from one of the fantastic design team. So there's lots out there to sort of keep you informed and to let you know what's going on, really. There we go. Sue's put all that on there. If you're going to join Barb on Thursday evening for the craft along, I know I digress slightly, but let me thinking craft along. What's all that about? So if we have a look here, so Barb is going to be doing a moment of clarity craft along this Thursday on the 10th of October at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. until we're done. Where live or exactly where you're tuning in today on Facebook and YouTube. What's on the menu? So over the past few months, we've been looking at the lovely abstract dies. We've got some infusion papers on there. You've got a lovely woodland and bird stamp set. And I'm sure Sue could pop a link up. If you go to the front of the website and where it says craft alongs, online courses, workshops, etc., you go in there and you scroll down and you'll find all the information about the craft along. There is a downloadable ingredients list, so you can get ahead and get all those bits ready for Thursday evening if you're going to join Barb. I mean, this lovely little booklet that we do gives you some ideas and inspiration. We've got the lovely die, stamp set, landscapes, the grass, and then we have our infusion papers that have been designed to coordinate perfectly with that particular die. Can you see sort of like the watermark effect? So it's great for positioning. And I'm sure many of our friends at home will be joining Barb on Thursday evening. So where have we been heading these past few weeks? Well, we've been looking at Josie's diagonal circular grids. We released these, when was it? It was a couple of months back. And it was a set of 4 beautiful plates. And if you love the look of I've got to stop saying lovely. If you like the look of lacework when you're doing your parchment art, but you've always thought, can't do it, too difficult, then the circular grids are a perfect introduction to that skill set. So let's have a look at what we're talking about here. I've put them all out of order. Let me just, I thought I'd put it all in order. There we go. So when we have a look at our Groovi plate, okay, and you can see here, this is what we call a duet plate. The brighter element is what we call a traditional Groovi plate. So this is where these elements are embossed. The lighter area have been precision drilled. So it gives you that perfect pattern to work alongside in order to do your perforating. Designed by the lovely Josie Davidson. Is Tina Cox in the room online? I just saw that somebody said hello to Tina. Tina, you'll be sitting here on Thursday, and I'm really looking forward to that. I will give you a call after we're finished. So, okay, right. Yes, and then for each of the plates, Josie has given us an image of what it looks like when it's completed. And then on the back, you've got your guide and then your cutting guide if you decided to go down that road. See, that's one of the lovely things, lovely. One of the things about the duet plates is that you have that versatility. Maybe you just want to do the embossing. Maybe you just want to do the perforating. But when you combine both together, you get that stunning effect of lacework. Now, if you decide to do the picot cutting, you can, but it's a design in its own right. I have to stop it. There we go. Tina's in the room. Yay. Lovely to see you in the room, Tina. Okay. Right. And here is, so this is what it looks like when it's completed. And this is the design that we have been working on. Okay. Then we have a look at some artwork. I love this. This is using our coloured parchment. This is using our two-tone, which is the A4 orange squash and lime twist. I love the offsetting look. It looks like a mandala, doesn't it? Then we've got another piece of artwork from Julie Campbell. Now, Julie's taken the circle and used it in the corners. So all of a sudden now, the circles become squares. Then we look at this lovely piece. This, I'm guessing, this is Jill. Let's have a look. Yeah, lovely Jill. Jill has incorporated a little bit of stitching in the centerpieces. That, I believe, is one of Tina's mandala designs. Then we move on to the next design. So this is Courage, and they all have very sort of uplifting names to give them their identity. It's the same principle as before. You're embossing and you're perforating. You also get your image of what it looks like when it's completed, your instructions and your cutting guide. And this is what it looks like. And this piece in the middle is one of our Pico dies, been cut out, the circular ones. And they act like little photo corners to hold your artwork in place. This one is Josie, I think. Yay, Josie. These are the, oh, what are these called? Courage and Circle Grid. This was the little A6 square baby plates. Jane launched these back in June. And the next one is Joy. Perforating, embossing. Your finished image together with your instructions and your cutting guide. So each of the different designs have their own specific cutting guide. Because of the way in which Josie has designed them, they all work differently and they are all different designs. That's what it looks like when it's completed. And this, I reckon this one is Carol Pankstello. Yay! Carol's done this one. So when you incorporate some of your other plates that you may have in your collection, this is all about just creating that framework. And during the course of this hour, we're going to have a look at some different pieces. Then we've got a little rocker card. Should really stick this with that. Poppets. These are our printed Pergamano pocket poppets. They come coloured and uncoloured. We have them for all 5 different collections. So you have the Christmas, the Flower, the Whimsies, the Pixies, and the Sprites. So if you're looking for instant artwork, then they would be perfect as a centerpiece. Then this one is, I've gone blank. Francis. I knew who it was, but I couldn't think of the name. Brain fog. So this one's from Francis. This is using Barb's Bijou Floral Alphabet in the middle. And Francis hasn't cut out any of the outer parts. She's only cut out the inner parts of the design. Okay. Then we move on to Strength. Finished image, cutting guide, and instructions. This is what it looks like when it's completed. And here's some artwork. I reckon that's a Josie, using our doodle dies to create the background. Let's have a look. Oh, it's a Glynis. It's a Glynis. Look, that flying frog. Easy. How would say that? Hang on. Where are we going? That way. Look. The detail on Marina's artwork is beautiful. And then this one is from Hazel. So Hazel hasn't done any pico cutting at all. Hazel is just embossed instead of perforating. See, that's one of the great things about the drilled plates, whether it be the basic grids, whether it be the Duet plates, that you can also emboss the perforations, like the holes in the plate. So just take it exactly as it comes and do embossing rather than perforating. Okay, so that's a little sort of snapshot of where we've been working with this lovely collection of designs. I'm going to pop those just over there. And this is the piece that, say, we've been working on, and we've been working with the piece plate. Okay, so I've used some of our lovely companion papers as a background. We completed all of our picot cutting last week, and you can see as I bend it inwards slightly, you can see how it lifts up, and this is where your topper or design fits in the middle. But if you didn't want to picot cut the inner part, you could just pop that on top. Looks like a sunflower or a dahlia, doesn't it? So you can go like that, or if you want to slide it underneath, then you just gently tease it in one little piece at a time, like so. Okay. So you have to do this part before you attach it. Okay. Do we have any new friends in the room today? Anybody tuning in for the first time today? If you are, say hello. Let us know where you're from. Are you in the UK? Are you from abroad? See, and then that goes just like that. So can you see how the different look you can get, whether you slide it underneath where you've done your picot cutting, or whether you sit it on top? Okay. Now, there was a piece of artwork, I'm sure it was in that pile. Let me just grab that pile whilst you have a look at that. I'm sure there was a piece of art, because there was it really sort of gave me, I think Josie did it, or Glynis. Okay, so this one here, let's have a look at this one, about turning the circle into a square. Now, I'm sure there was another one. I wonder where I put it on the back shelf. Just looking behind me whilst I thought it was very clever, and it was a nice way of just finishing off and using. I'll put it somewhere safe, I think. Okay. So this is another way of getting more out of your plate. This is using our rainbow parchment. So you've got that lovely colour graduation from the light. I reckon this one is Paradise Island, backed on top of our companion paper. But there was, I don't know where that piece of artwork is. It is behind me. Let me just grab it off the shelf. All right, let me have a look. See, and then I also like this here, where you can use it as like a photo corner, or our corner punches. And with our corner punches, it acts as that so that your paper fits underneath. Now, the companion paper could be another piece of parchment. So, for example, you could take this and slide that underneath. And what it would do, it would hold it in place, maybe a little brad just in the middle. And you can do this type of finish with any of the plates. Okay, so we've got lovely Jenny from Gravesend, third time here, and you love it. I have 2 of these plates, Strength and Joy, and it's lovely to see what I can do with them. Well, welcome, Jenny. Lovely to have your company. I'm glad you've come back. So this is your 3rd time. If you're new to Groovi, or you're new to Groovi Tuesday or Clarity Crafts, then if you check out our YouTube channel, there is all the history there, from the Shack, from YouTube Tuesday that Barb started many, many moons ago. And you've got all the Shack episodes, all the Groovi Tuesday episodes, and they're all completely free. Okay. Logged in under your daughter's name. Okay, it doesn't matter. Well, you are who you are, aren't you? So, okay. So I thought what we would do is we'd have a look at some different other ways of using the circular grid during the course of this hour. How do you make them square? Very good question. I'm going to show you how you make them square. So I love this effect of using it into a corner, but also how you can take it into a square. Okay, so let's go down the easy road first and just use it as a corner. Okay, so for that we are going to need a piece of parchment. Now I've used our Pico dies to cut out. So the Pico dies, you can buy them separately, but they also come with the complementary Groovi plate, so they work side by side. And then you've got your dies. I've got some of my other plates designed by the lovely Jazz that work with the dies as well. We have them in circles, dies there, and then we have them in ovals, and then finally we have them in rectangles. So if I take the square Groovi plate, like so, so it's a normal Groovi plate. I've got the word Groovi in the top right hand corner, and you'll notice, let me zoom in a little bit more now for you. I'm going to stretch up and zoom in, see if I can get this right. There we go. I'm coming nice and slowly. Whee! There we go. Okay. So the way in which this particular Groovi plate has been designed, he says, pulling the chair in without falling off, you have your double line, your double frame, and then you have a little serrated edge. Okay, and this is for positioning your die cut parchment. So what we're going to do is take our piece of parchment. We've already die cut, and you'll feel that there's a slight difference. The die has gone on the front of the parchment, so when we turn it over, I'm going to work on the back, and you'll feel it is slightly raised. Okay, we're going to take our tumble dry sheet, and we're going to wipe, and we're going to start from the middle, and we're going to work our way out. And the reason we do this is because if we take the tumble dry sheet, it can catch on the edge. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way over our piece of parchment. Then we're going to take our Groovi plate. I'm going to put my glasses on, like so. Like so. Let's see if you don't know how to put glasses on. I'm going to put the glasses on. And I'm going to take my Groovi guard and my Groovi tabs. Good way of storing your Groovi tabs. Attach them to your guard. Okay, mine are often attached either to my guard or to my plate mate. Okay, so position, line up your parchment on whichever size you have decided to cut out. Attach using your Groovi tabs. Now I tend to, where the Groovi tabs overlaid, we won't be able to go through them. So what I'm going to do is turn it this way, and I'm going to use the Groovi number 1, which is like a stylus. There's no ball on the end. I'm going to use my Groovi guard for holding it in place, and then I'm going to press, and I'm going to start on the outer one first, because by pressing into the parchment, what it's doing, it's pushing the fibers forward to give us our lovely white line, but it also pulls the edge inwards. Okay, so we're just going to follow that front. Let me zoom out a little bit. I'm coming a little bit too close now. Hang on, can't tiptoe with my glasses on. Where's the button gone? I'm going that way. There we go. Okay. So I've done top to bottom there. I'm going to turn it round and do top to bottom there. Now I'm going to use my Groovi guard to hold my parchment whilst I relocate my Groovi tabs. I'll do the same on this side, like so. And then we can complete our frame. So not only is this Pico plate great for using with your Pico die, but it also gives you various different nests as well. So maybe you just want a lovely double lined frame for your work, then this is a lovely plate to have. Okay, so now when we lift off our parchment, we've got our crisp white line. Whoops, sorry. Crisp white line all the way around the outside. Now I'm going to bring in my plate mate from the starter kit, like so, and I need my grid plate. So we are working with, I mean, I could use any of the other four to go in the corner, but let's stick to the plan. Let's go with the same design. We're going to go with piece. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to wipe the front of my parchment as well. So wipe the front, like so. I need my super foam underneath so I can perforate. Plate mate on top, and then my plate in there. So again, you can read the word Groovi Grid. The words in the middle are back to front. This has been embossed, and this area here has been perforated or drilled. Okay, and really we only need one of those little sections to put into a corner. So I'm going to grab my 1 needle bolt, like so. Now, if you look at the design, you'll notice that obviously this is the inner part that you would then perforate. So if I take this now, like so, I can go right into that corner, for example. Let's have a look. So I'm using this plate one here and this one here for my positioning. Or I could go the one up there. Doesn't matter which one you use, they're all the same. Okay, and what I'm doing is I'm looking here. So can we see here where the two come together, and over here the two come together? What I'm going to do is line up my edge of my parchment so that the edge of the parchment lays underneath those two dots. I'm going to attach it and then bring it in for you to see. Okay, so if I zoom in now, let's stretch. There we go. So I'm going to come in nice and slowly, just like so. So the edge of the parchment is just underneath the dip of those 2 points. Right, okay. So now we can perforate this part of the pattern. Groovi guard comes into play again. So I'm going to go like this. And then using the 1 needle bolt, we are going to perforate the pattern. Okay. Now, if I wanted to, I could have embossed this. And if I was going to do the embossing, then I'd be working on the back. Okay. So I'm going to stop there. So you get carried away. When you start to do your perforating, you get carried away. Well, I do. So it's just remembering when to stop. Okay, but we're just going for one particular corner, like so. And you can decide if you want to include the design in the middle, like so, or not. Okay. And I mean, when I see Josie doing this, it's like a sewing machine going. But it's all about just enjoying the process. Well, it is for me, and I'm sure it is for many of you at home as well. Right, okay. So we're gonna, it doesn't take long to, as I say, we're only doing one little corner, and this really shows how versatile the designs are. Just taking one little element and using it in a corner. Okay, so we've done our perforating, like so. Okay, so we can lift this off now. And what I'm going to do, just to make it easy, I'm going to turn my plate. I'm going to turn the whole thing. So now we need to, this is the embossed part. Okay, you can see it's a lot whiter, and the pattern, although it's the same, it's different. So what we're going to do now is we've perforated from the front, so we're now going to emboss from back. And we're going to reposition our parchment so that these white dots sit inside the perforated pattern. Okay. I mean, many of you have already done this as doing it as a complete frame, but I think it's quite useful to show how you can just use one part of it. Okay, so just take the time just to make sure that you're happy with your positioning. I think I just need to swing it around a little bit. Okay, so that's and attach. Okay. Groovy guard again. Now this time I'm going to go with the number 2 tool, which has a little ball on the end. Can you do, Jackie says, can you do, you wasn't paying attention. Jackie, goodness me. You can do it with any size square, because all we're doing is just taking one of those elements from the circular grids and just putting it into a corner. So it doesn't matter, obviously, depending on the piece of paper you're going to slip underneath, then that's what you'd work with. I've gone for the largest one, but you could go in smaller. It's entirely up to you. Okay, right, groovy number 2 tool, and then we're going to press into those dots. And if I accidentally press on a perforation, it doesn't matter, because then we can reperforate and open the hole back up again. Okay, so we're going to follow it round like so. See, this is just as satisfying as doing the perforating, because I don't need to think about what it is I'm doing, because Josie has created the design for us. Okay, look how easy it comes together, just like so. Right, so now I can turn this over to the front. There we go. So this would now form one of the corners. And I'm just going to snip one of these. Well, I've only done one. I'm going to snip this out now. So we still follow the same pattern that is on the guide. Okay, I'm going to use my perga cutters. So we did a lot of snipping last week, so you can go back and have a look at that. And it's the tips of those scissors that go in. and we're just doing one at a time. Okay, and I tend to work in one direction first. My hand's nice and comfortable. It's resting on my super foam or pico foam, like so. Then, okay. Because if you go in too far with the scissors, what happens is the blade actually cuts between the perforations rather than giving you that pico. No, I don't. Now he says, I love the dots turning white. It's like swishing the little light bulbs on. It is, isn't it? It's very magical. It also reminds me of sort of like the Etch-a-Sketch that when you used to trace out and then the lines would appear. So we're just going to complete those two little dots there. And now when I lift that up, you can see we've created a little photo corner. So if I take a piece of card and pop that under, that is now going to hold my finished artwork in place. So actually I've got a bit of coloured paper here, which will make it stand out a bit more. There we go. So it's the same principle. You would need to pop this in place first before you attach. Oops, sorry about that. Hang on, it will focus. Let me bring my hand in. There we go. I'm going to zoom out a little bit now. Zoom out. There we go. See, so that goes in there and it gives me my corner. Now you may decide, there we go. You may decide just to do diagonal corners. So do one there and one there. But I think that little finishing of doing all four of them really can make a difference. Okay, let me zoom out because it's struggling with focus. Whee! I was a little bit too fast. Okay. Right. Ooh, I've missed the dot, have I? Have I really? Let's have a look. Have I missed the dot? I've got glasses on. I can't. Oh, over here. Yes, I've missed a dot from there. Correct. Okay. So that's how we can use our circular grids to create a corner or a like a photo corner, like the corner punches. So then how do we use it to create a right angle corner? In a way, it's the same sort of principle. So for example, if I take another square piece of parchment, like so, now this is a piece I happen to have that has already been pico cut. It doesn't have to be pico cut. It just needs to be a square of parchment. Then what I'm going to do is bring in my plate mate. I need to work on, no, it's still on the super foam. I'm going to put my plate in place like so. Okay. So let's have a look. Wipe both sides of your parchment, front and back, like so. If you get into a habit, if you're going to do perforating and pico cutting and embossing, it's always a good idea to wipe both the front and the back of your parchment. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's bring our plate back into play. Where's my Groovi guard? Groovi guard's underneath. So if I take my plate like so, let's try and keep it simple. I've got my Groovi grid up there. Okay, now I'm going to do what I'm looking at these two here. Okay, they need to be inside my frame. Okay, so you may think, oh, that's a big way, but this is all going to be cut away. So let's go like so. Okay, we're going to use our Groovi tabs to hold in place. I mean, the first time you maybe you want to give this a go, then you may want to just practice on a scrap piece of parchment before you think, oh, I'm going to do it for real. So if I take my 1 needle bold now, and then I'm not going to do the inside part. I'm just going to do the outline so that we can show how it works. Okay, so I've gone all the way along here. So we're doing the outline. And then I'm going to do the inner part as well. Let me come in on this camera. There we go. So that's where we're going on this one. Like so. Okay, so I've got my first corner perforated. If I lift that up, it's attached to the plate. There we go, you can see how I've got that one perforated. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to leave our plate in place, and then we're going to, so there it is there. So now we're going to bring that around. Okay, it looks a little bit cat-handed, but once you get into it, so I'm going to come in really close on this to show you the positioning. Hang on, so hopefully it won't go out of focus. Whee, oops, that was really close. Okay. Right. Okay, so this was the one that we, I mean, they're all the same, it doesn't matter. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to, so this one here, as it comes down, the end of this one, I'm going to use for my positioning. So the hole here, I'm going to use that. I mean, it's not going to go back in there, but what it's going to do is give me my guide. Now I could use a white pencil and draw a straight line to make sure that I'm in the right position. But I reckon, looking at this point here, it is about right. Okay, so then all I'm going to do now, so it's all about sort of positioning and then just turning your parchment whilst you work. Okay. So again, I'm just going to do the outline, just so you can get the idea of how you can turn a circle into a corner. I suppose potentially you could turn it into a full square, couldn't you? But I know the only thing you can't do is make the circle bigger. Okay, so we've done that. So all you're going to do is just repeat by, so now I can just take that and then move along to the next one. So I'm relocating back into the perforation to give me my spacing between each of the diamonds, like so. Let's just relocate that Groovi tab. And then before you know it, you've got a lovely corner or a square frame by using one section of a circular grid. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully it makes sense what I'm showing you. Give it a go. Okay. So now, if I lift that off and put it on there, you can see how we're now starting to create that corner. Okay, right, I've got some other stuff to tell you. Oh dear, it's Tuesday. So Tuesday, apart from being Groovi Tuesday, also means it's Triple Point Tuesday. So every week we bring you a fantastic product at a fantastic price with a super saving. And if you decide to take us up on that offer, it runs from Tuesday to Tuesday, then you will get triple points. Not only do you get the discount, you get your club discount, and you also get triple points. However, if anything else happens to jump into your basket at the same time, then the whole basket will give you triple points. So say, for example, today's triple point product, you really, really like that, and you think, oh yeah, I want that. And then you've been keeping your eye on something, maybe a light panel. Maybe you want to go for a light panel now. When you pop that in, you'll then get triple points on the light panel and on the triple point Tuesday product. Okay, so let me just have a look at this on the overhead when I'm going to go and grab. So you can see here how these corners have been created. Okay, so I thought since we have the lovely Tina Cox coming into the building on Thursday to keep us company and work on because we're having a partnership party, aren't we, on Thursday? So I thought we'd have a look at some of Tina's stamp designs. So let me just zoom out now. There we go. Oh, the rubbish man's turned up. I can hear him reversing. There we go. So I'm going to zoom out. So these are, what I'm about to show you, are Tina's Christmas element stamp sets. Okay. Now, many of you may be familiar with the designs, and the reason you may be familiar is because they're Groovi Parchlets. Okay. And the Groovi Parchlets are also going to be what Tina's going to showcase on Thursday. So we have 6 little A6 stamp sets. So you can see here, that's it. So you've got the angel. So if I find the Parchlet, let me see if I can find Parchlet. There we go. So this is the little Parchlet. So you can see you've got the angel, you've got these textured corners, you've got the box. So these are stamps, okay? Then you have your next one. This is the Cool Yule, the little snowman. So let me find, there we go. So there's your Parchlet. Then the next one is the Christmas trees. So let me find the Parchlet for that one. Okay. Then we have the stockings, and you'll notice they all have lovely little frames on them. So this is the stockings. So you've got corners, great for pattern building. Then we have the next one. Oh, the voice went. This one here, a little candle. You can decoupage a candle if you wanted to. And then the final one is the snowflake. Okay. So this week's Triple Tuesday product. Oh, let me show you some artwork. Hang on. So let's have a look. So we've got this piece from Linda Spencer. Craft card, blacks ink, white pencils, Posca pens, pinky grey stickers. This one is from Sonia. See, this is pattern building for me at its best. This is a dinky little one from Linda Spencer, little notelet card. Quick and easy, gold embossing powder. This one's clever. This one is from Tina Morris. So what Tina's done is she's taken our die-cut alphabet in white, put it on, and then added a drop shadow. Use the snowman to become the S. We have a lovely piece from Deborah Wheeler, sort of tiles offset. I'm guessing Deborah stamped it out several times and then chopped it down to size. Another one from Tina Morris using holly. Can you see that? The holly, there we go. I think the white on white looks lovely, doesn't it? The embedders around the outside. Poinsettias from Debbie McMullen. Some Christmas trees in different colours from Linda Spencer. Another one from Debbie McMullen, sort of random backgrounds. Another craft card piece from Sarah Brennan. Tina must have done a little set of these. You can see you've got the word star in there. More pattern building from Jane Telford. And then the final piece I've got to share from you with you is Linda Spencer. Okay. So your Triple Point Tuesday product is, I'm going to zoom out now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so they're £10 each. That should be £60 or £59.94, give or take a few pennies. The special price is £34.94. So you've got a £25 saving, plus your Clarity Craft Club discount, and you're going to get triple points on that as well. And you'll also get triple points of anything else that jumps into the basket when you pop that in at the same time. Okay, and I just thought this is great because Tina's coming into the building on Thursday. Tina is going to be sharing her tips and tricks and knowledge we've got 3 different sets of parchlets. This is the Christmas one that worked alongside that. And you know what, I dare I say it, Christmas is just around the corner. So many of our friends at home love to stamp and parch. Now, obviously you can stamp onto parchment, but I've often done that. There's a couple of YouTubes on our YouTube channel about stamping onto parchment. But I thought this tied in lovely with the products that Tina's going to be sharing with us on Thursday. So there is your, let me just pop this to one side now, your Triple Point Tuesday. We have spoken about, what else have we spoken? What have we spoken about? I haven't stopped, have I, really? Oh dear, this chair. Right. And a slurp of coffee. I know the design team do a fantastic job, they really do. And on the overhead, we can sort of indulge it so much more than sort of putting it on a website or when we do TV and stuff like that. So, okay. Just saying, pop those over there. Right. So we've looked at using the circular grid, exactly how it comes. We've shown how you can use it in the corners as like photo corners, the same as what we would use our Groovi punches for. And we've looked at how we can turn it into a right angle. And I would say if you're going to try doing the right angle, just practice first. I would definitely draw a square frame as a guide. I mean, that wasn't perfectly straight, but I would use, you could use one of the nested square plates and then just draw it on the front with white pencil as a guide to get your positioning right. Maybe give that a go. All of a sudden, what it does, it gives a new lease of life to a design. And then when it comes to the centerpiece, remember we spoke about, because obviously we're coming into Christmas. I know that's twice I've said it in this hour. Well, I've said it more than twice. And I fell in love with this piece of artwork from Carol Baker. And this is using Linda's Winter Owl. And I thought that this would be a perfect centerpiece for my piece of artwork that I've created. So in a couple of weeks, we're going to be looking, because next week we have our parchment retreat. But look, he sits in there perfectly. And this will allow us to, in a way, just take the owl onto a little square. Fits lovely in the, oh, it's lovely, I've got to change my word. Lovely, 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 lovely. into our coasters as well. So if you wanted to do a complimentary present to go alongside the card, then he fits lovely. Not lovely, not lovely at all. He will fit within the coasters. And this was a piece of artwork that Linda created. Do you remember? I showed it on TV a couple of weeks ago. I'm going to look at the, where am I going? Whee, he's flying. So I thought, because next week we've got the Parchment Retreat, and then I've got a couple of weeks off. So I'm back with you on the 5th of November, fireworks, Guy Fawkes Day night. And I thought we could have a look at him, and we could have a look at how to create those lovely sort of white feathery feathers, doing the white work into his hat and scarf, and having a look at how to do the eyes, because I think it's the eyes that really does bring him to life. And then I don't know if you can see there's a little bit of sparkle on there. So we'll get the perga glitter out. I'm sure, you know, Tina, she loves a little bit of sparkle. I'm sure Tina will be getting her glitter out on Thursday. So that's where we're going to be, who we're going to be using in a couple of weeks' time. So you've got plenty of time to add him to your basket if you wish to. Oh, where's it going? And if you remember when I was on TV, the piece of art, because we don't do black parchment anymore. So what I did was I took some of our, this is our midnight blue. Okay, so it's still lovely and dark, but if you wanted it black, then just take a piece of black card and pop that underneath, and it's as close to black as you will get. Okay, and this, because we look at the plate, so the item number for the plate, if you're interested in joining along, is 41571. Okay, 41571. And it's full of lovely frame, full of frames, the little sort of ziggy zag. You've got your faux stitching, you've got your solid lines, and these have also been designed to work with our Pico dies as well, so that you can see where we're heading. If you're new to it, then you can just trace everything out in the number 1 tool. But if you want to, we're definitely going down this road where we're going to have a play with adding the feathery look. And in order to be able to do that, we definitely are going to be using, because for me, these were a game changer when we got them back in stock, were the shader tools. Okay, and they make it so much easier when I'm working on white work now. Saying that, if I'm working on larger areas, then the 6mm ball tool is definitely the way forward. But to create that feathery or the shadow embossing look, is the shader tools are definitely the way forward. Let's put that so you can see you've got the 3 different sizes. If you could only go for one, then I would go for the one in the middle, which is the 1mm, but you've got the 0.8, the 1 and the 1.2. Okay, and we'll put these through their paces as well. Ooh, can't believe where that time, it really does fly, doesn't it? Literally with the twitcheroo ow. So don't forget, we're back on Thursday, 10 and 2 with Tina Cox. We're going to have a Pergamano Parchlit party. The products are already available on the website. If you just put parchlets in, I think we've created a section, or Jim's in the process of doing that for us at the moment. Clarity TV, you'll see there's a little box now, just to the right of the banners. And all the products that Tina will be using will be going in there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to catching up with Tina, like many of you at home are as well, and we'll get the the Parchlit party started. I mean, it started already if you want to go to the pre-party, but the official party is on Thursday, live, exactly in the same room where you're finding us now, at 10 a.m. And then we'll be back with you at 2 p.m. And then Barb has got the craft along on Thursday evening at 7 p.m. But make sure you do sign up to our emails, eShots emails, and you'll be kept up to date of all things clarity. And also sign up and subscribe to Barb's blog, which is Barbara Gray blog, because then every time Barb does a post, then you'll get notified on what's going on as well. And the same over on the Clarity Matters blog. So thank you as always. I look forward to having your company again on Thursday. Thank you to Sue. And where's it coming from? It's coming from here. It's Clarity TV from Clarity Towers here in Kent. All the information will be on the website again, but definitely sign up to that email because it will tell you exactly what's happening, where to find us. Yeah, I'm going to clear this up. I think Barb's in here next. She's got some secret squirrel stuff to do. So I need to leave it nice and tidy, and then we'll be ready then on Thursday. So enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy today and tomorrow. And I look forward to seeing you again on Tuesday. Take care now. Bye-bye.